Coming up, I'm going to build this Tamiya Sturmgeschutz Mark III. But before we go any further, as always, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for future content, and if you like what you see, drop us a like. But let's get cracking. I'm just creating a few little chips and scratches in the idler wheels, and I'm going to do the same with the road wheels and things too, just to show a bit of wear and tear in the rubber, and then I just glue them home with some Tamiya Extra Thin as usual. It's supposed to have a working suspension system in these little pins, and that bar kind of makes all the arms and the wheels movable. But I found that the plastic seemed to be a bit bowed on mine. I don't know whether you're talking millimetre, not even that, but it didn't quite grip the arms enough, those arms there, and they just kept falling out, which was a bit of a ball ache every time I picked it up and tried to move it. So I ended up just having to kind of glue it in place, because it's going to be a flat static diorama anyway, so it's not the end of the world. But if you want it movable, remember that, and perhaps clamp those down or something like that to help fix them in place. And those little pins, the little silver pins there for the movable suspension, be careful with them, because I pinged one off and it ended up in the Carpet Monster's lair. So thankfully I don't need it anyway, but yeah, be warned, they have a tendency, those things there, to ping right off. So I'm building up the gun barrel, and one thing that's never really agreed with us in this hobby is super glue, CA glue. So for parts like this, I like to use this Gorilla super glue gel. It's a bit thicker, so you've got a little bit more time to work with it. Obviously I certainly wouldn't use it on really fine photo etch parts, but for this type of application, it's really good. Then I just continued on making the gun mechanism, the rest of the interior. But as I was building it, I kind of was thinking also the vignette and the end result that this whole thing's going to lead to, and I kind of thought how much of the interior you're actually going to see, because I didn't buy the kit to be a full interior kit like the Mengs have had of old. I wasn't really planning on displaying it with the interior, and when you get down to it, it's really only when you look through the hatches and things, and there's going to be, I think, 2 hatches at best open. So I decided that, yeah, I'll pay it a bit of attention and paint it up and put a little bit of dirt and grime in there, but I'm not really going to town on it too much, bit of chipping here and there, because to be honest, you're not really going to see it. And the rest of the attention will be taken up with any figures and any effects that I'm going to do on the end diorama. So I do build up the interior, but I probably build in a bit of a backwards way when it comes to the painting side. I've probably made myself a few dodgy avenues to go down, but I'm not really that bothered, if I'm honest. I used green stuff, which is a 2-part putty that you mix together and it turns green, to make a few rags and a bit of a tarpaulin to put on the vehicle to make it feel a bit more lived in. In this instance, I used talcum powder because I was recommended initially to use water, but it never agreed with me and it sticks to bloody everything. And then I just cut it out to the rough size I wanted, and then very gently just applied it to the vehicle. And then I don't quite know why I didn't use the proper tools that I've got, but I used a toothpick, and I don't quite know why, and kind of molded it into the shape I was looking for, and got some really nice folds in the fabric, and kind of gives it a really good look. I would recommend giving it a go to anyone. It is a bit of a pain to try and get right, but I'm still learning, and I'm going to use this on a lot more builds in the future. And that is basically it. It's a fantastic kit. Not much more else to say about it, really. I was very surprised with the extra detail on it. The things like the weld lines and the detail was really, really crisp. Loads of added little extras like the interior, albeit a lot more basic than, like I say, some of your Meng kits that I've built in the past. But then that was like 70 quid, and it took months to build. Whereas this one, you can do it probably in a weekend, no problem. It's also a great kit for beginners or intermediate, or people a bit more intermediate, who want to get a bit more detail and a bit more bang for the buck, who might be a bit daunted by going out and spending £70 on a kit. I would highly recommend this. It's got nice flat angular panels as well, so you can practice pre-shading and stuff like that, which we'll do in the next video. I'm also went ahead and put some, as you saw in the video, some of this green stuff tarpaulin on, which I'm pretty new to, if I'm honest. I have tried it in the past, made a backside of it, but I'm going to use it a bit more in future. It's nice and set there. When it's primed and painted and shaded, it'll look really nice. And then I'm going to add a couple of bits of stowage. These are from Value Gear, and they are really, really good. And I can't say any more than that. Box of grenades there, some tarpaulins and a helmet. Gonna go there or thereabouts. It's really, really good. I would highly recommend it. I'm looking forward to getting on and painting it, but that's enough for me for now. If you like what you've seen so far, don't forget to stick a like. Help us out fighting those YouTube algorithms and get my videos a bit more noticed. And if you want to see how this build goes, or any of the other builds I've done in the past, or any future builds that I haven't even dreamt up in my head yet, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, get some future updates, and I thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye bye.